We've been together for 2.5 years. When we first started dating, he was also entertaining other women.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Little Bad Book. You know what time it is. Talking to you guys about Put a Ring on It, dealing with Vince and Tamika. And we're talking about the subject of, don't you hate it when guys say that girls are crazy and then they're the reason why the girl's actually crazy? So if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for a notification of the uploads. And for those of you returnees, well, guys, make sure you know you got the minerals. You got the minerals. All right, then. Let's talk about it. Don't forget as well, grab your merchandise as well. Mineral gang, you understand? Grab your merchie. All right, cool. So we get to have we get to see a new couple come into the villa, if you want to call it that, and we see Vince and Tamika coming through, and they've been together for 2.5 years, and they are seemingly, they're nice looking bunch of couple. They seem to get on. They got good chemistry. They just like any other couple, they've got their own problems, and their problem here, as the reason why they're not married, is that Tamika isn't ready to get married. And I think what's really interesting about this is that at the beginning of the show, we get the whole, we get a short spiel of the man telling us, she's got trust issues.
Trust affects our relationship quite a bit. Anytime I step out or get a phone call, she kind of gets a little jealous.
Jealousy over phone calls and him going out. She's really like controlling in some sense, blah blah blah, right? So it makes it sound as if, okay, cool, maybe this girl's got some problems that she has from the past, and she's bringing her baggage into the relationship, and that's why she feels the way she feels, right? But again, why do guys do this? Act as if you didn't know what you did, as if you didn't know what happened and how you got here. Sir, Mr. Vince, you are the cause, and since you are the cause, you're also the solution to the healing of your relationship. Let's talk about it. So, he said that, she's her, he said that that's his, oh my gosh. He said that she is his soulmate. Yeah. That woman right there, Tamika, is his soulmate. And yet, at the beginning of the relationship, you weren't behaving as if that was your soulmate.
I confront him about it. He's telling me I'm crazy, I'm acting insecure. Turns out, based off the messages and the text messages that the girl sent me, she was telling the truth.
Right? And this is why I don't like all this people get into a relationship and having to disconnect from past. Listen, when you know in it. If you're in the right relationship, you should have been disconnected before. But this is why I always say, so it should have got to a point where you started killing off these potentials way before this anyway. If you know what I'm saying, like, you didn't get rid of the person after day one. Like, there's a process to this, right? So the people that who were not important to you, that were not necessarily or necessity, should have been getting cut off as you were going. There shouldn't be anybody left. But the trouble is that a lot of people are feeling lonely, and people are placeholders in their life. And so you got women and men choosing the opposite sex as placeholders until the right person comes. And then they're having to disconnect all those different connections, okay, right? Especially if they're doing, like, having sex with them or whatever. They're having to disconnect all those particular people from their lives, and it just becomes a very sticky point. And the reason why is because you should have never been going into this new relationship with all the baggage you're going in when it comes to you dating.
He was just there because it was lingering from me getting rid of her.
Oh, we got a lot to work on.
For people, or having people that are too close to you emotionally. So we're a generation that loves to have, I call it, the situationships on the side. And so this is what it looks like, a situationship. Or it could be even like this was his actual girlfriend and broke up with her, and I don't know, it's just messy, right? But the truth of the matter is that he was not honest. He was still seeing someone and lied about that. And so now you've got a girl who doesn't trust him, and now is jealous over his phone calls and him going out, and she feels a certain way because she feels that she cannot trust him. Someone might ask, what if you can't trust him? Why are you in a relationship with him? And that's one of the biggest truths we've got to say. If you don't trust him, since you aren't married, why are you in a relationship with him? And sometimes the point is this, it's 2.5 years. Right? And sometimes we ignore certain things because it doesn't suit what we have envisions for our life. She's got a certain degree of safety and comfortability with dealing with Vince. She knows him now, probably knows her body as well. And so changing now would be an effort, would be energy. And potentially, again, someone could do the exact same thing that he's done. So that just double or triples the pain that she's feeling already, right? So why go through that? So for her, it's a case of, okay, cool. Do you know what? Maybe I've got a good, comfortable base at this moment. He hasn't necessarily cheated. He's just done something that's broken my trust, and I can probably deal with that. I can wrestle with that for a little while, and I'm sure that I'll be healed as I go along, right? Maybe that's her thought process, right? But when she's asked by Dr. Nicole, what frustrates you about each other? She's like, oh, yep, let me go first. Da, da, da. So she's already eager to say her point of view, which makes me feel like you have not dealt with this. Sis, you are still feeling it. You are still neck deep in it. You have not healed from this. And this is something that's going to affect you. And it's going to be one of the things, the reason why you're not married on the show, I guess. Right? That's the reason why you're here. And she said obviously he was entertaining other girls at the beginning. A girl was DMing him at the beginning, DMing him saying that they were together, and she said it didn't really matter at the time because obviously they weren't properly a relationship.
When we first started dating, he would tell me things back then like, oh, you're the only one I want to be with, X, Y, and Z. This girl is DMing me saying that they're in a relationship.
And I'm like, I don't know. Okay. I think, girl, you knew that you were sometimes people like to give people leeway. Like, oh, we weren't really together. No, but sis, you were somewhat. That's why you're mentioning it. Because it made you feel affected, right? You may not have been fully in a relationship, but you considered it to be an exclusive moment. And when he was doing that, that probably hurt your feelings. So that's already set you back on a particular foot already, right? And then she speaks about the fact that, basically she actually just admits.
He's telling me I'm crazy, I'm acting insecure. Turns out, based off the messages and the text messages that the girl sent me, she was telling the truth.
To being gaslighted by Vince about the truth of this girl, right? He doesn't tell the full truth about this girl, Almost say like, don't worry about it kind of girl. No, like, whoo. Anyway, Chile, let me not go too deep. And so he had to tell the previous girl, that about the new girl. So Vince had told his previous girl about who she was, and so his excuse as to why the girl was moving mad is that she's moving mad, she's crazy, and all that it was is that she's seen them two together and just wants to ruin their relationship. Now, if you know women and men, it's a very rare percentage that you find women are mad enough to try and ruin your relationship now when there hasn't been some type of input from the guy. Yeah, I'm not saying that women don't try to ruin relationships and men don't try to ruin relationships. What I am saying is, it's very rare that you'll find that women are doing the most, as this woman's doing, trying to show you that, they were together, etc., etc., moving like she's actually crazy, okay, without there being some type of input from the guy himself, okay? And so now, he again lied about that it was a situation that he was getting rid of. It's like, bro, like, wait, I thought you were done and this girl was crazy, but no, it's a situation you're trying to get rid of. What is it? Which one is it, sir? Is it you're trying to get rid of it at a time, or is it that you actually done with her at a time? Like, which one is it, right? And so because of that, she now feels like she lost control and she's lost who she used to be, and she now wants to control every single thing.
But when I found out initially that he betrayed me, that just hit me out of nowhere. And I had to control things now because I don't want him to hurt me again.
Well, this week...
Do you see how unhealthy this is? And this is out of the fact of his behavior. Simply because a girl messaged her saying we're still together during the course of when you were formulating your relationship. That should have been a red flag enough for sis to say, maybe I shouldn't start this relationship. Maybe I should wait until you're fully ready. Maybe I should wait till you're actually done with old girl and not be accommodating and understanding. No, I should wait until you're actually fully done with all your tricks and hoes. And actually, I should have been elsewhere enjoying my life, because what you've done is you've engaged this guy at a level where he hasn't dealt with his issues, or I should say hasn't dealt with the chicks that he was dealing with, and now they're starting to invest time in your relationship now, and now they're rent-free in your mind, rent-free in your head top, because you feel a certain way about him now going out, him now talking to anybody else, him now being around, I'm guessing, other females, it's now going to make you feel a certain way. In fact, the end of the show, when he goes for his date, she starts crying. That should let you know, babe, you're in a difficult place emotionally in this relationship. Is it really conducive for you?
You just have to open up more and be honest. I know it's going to be hard for you because you can't even really open up to me, and you've been on me for... I've learned that I can...
You know, she mentioned obviously the fact that, you know, Vince struggles to open up, and you have to kind of tiptoe around him. And I'm like, what? Okay, I understand. Some guys are not so open, so yeah. It's 2.5 years now. Man's still not really open. I think that tells you a lot. Either maybe you're not asking the right questions, or he's just really guarded because he doesn't want to let you in. Doesn't want you to be too close to him, right? And that could mean that he's not really, as he says, that's my best friend. And you know, let me be frank, some guys do struggle opening up. Let's be very honest. Some guys struggle to open up because it's very difficult because they've experienced in the past a lack of emotional care. And so when they have to open up emotionally, it leaves them too vulnerable and they don't want to open up. If you associate opening up with pain, then you're not going to want to open up in future because you associate, it's conditioning, right? It's a bit like Pavlov with the dogs. It's like the dogs salivate when they hear a bell because they've conditioned them to think bell means food or drink. And so the same thing with us as human beings, we've been conditioned with opening up. Oh no, vulnerable, you'll hurt me and take advantage of me. Oh, that's weak. You know what I mean? And so, you know, he says, obviously, I could see myself interested in someone else. I was like, whoa. I was like, this is the guy that you want, Tamika? He said,
If you want to.
I could see myself being interested in another woman because I'm human. I don't want to be interested in another woman. I don't want life without Tamika.
He can see himself interested in someone else. Is he really serious about the fact that you're my best friend? Maybe you are his best friend. Maybe you're a best friend. I want you around all the time. He wants you as a best friend. Maybe he wants you. Maybe he wants to have his cake and eat it. He likes, you know, some men like to have their best friend as a girl, but not really the best friend because they want to have best friends with benefits while still remaining friends. So without giving you the title, I want you to be my best friend. Give me some cake, and I'm gonna eat the cake, but I'm not gonna give you a relationship. I want you to still be my friend, right? And that's where some guys like it to be, you know? That's where some guys like to be. And so it's interesting because at the lunch that she was having with the girls, you know, she admits again that Vince was talking to 2 girls at once while he was dating her. And it's like, sis, but you saw these flags. Why did you decide not to go through and say, I'm not going to go forward? And again, sometimes we can get locked into the ideal of the person. We can give the person too much leeway. Sometimes you just have to say no.
Exchange text messages that they had while we were dating, so I saw, like, you know, the exchange between the same thing. Some of the stuff he was telling her, he was telling me, and I was like, oh, there it is.
Sometimes you just have to say, listen, I appreciate that, but you've messed up and I can't trust you going forward from here. Rather than going headlong into it and saying, I'm going to just try and bear and grin it and continue forward. And now you're 2.5 years in and you're wondering, does this guy really love me? Does he really want me? And now you're scared to get married because you're scared that he would do the exact same thing he did here and do it in marriage. And in that one, you have no escape. You know what I'm saying? You know, texting the girl, the same things that he's texting you. Sis, basic. That's young and stuff. Man couldn't even text different things. Texting you and the girl, same thing at the beginning of the relationship. Sis, what were you expecting if you continued on once? You know, and she said there's other incidents that made her feel a certain way. And I'm like, oh my days. So basically you're saying that this guy has shown behavior consistently that has backed up why you feel the way you feel at this moment. Yeah. DMing another girl, and going to see another girl. Going to see that girl that he said was nobody. And going round the yard, You went there for, was it like a meal or something? Sorry, was it Christmas thing or something? You went round there for a meal, but you said you didn't really know the girl. What? Bruv, like, and basically told her he was going for a production meeting, but turns out he went to be with the girl and her family.
He told me he was going out of town for a production meeting. It turns out he went out of town to be with her and her family.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man.
No, if that don't scream to you, If that don't scream to you, sis, I'm telling you to wake up. If that don't scream to you, sis, that this boy isn't who he needs to, it's not who you want him to be and who you need him to be, sis, wake up and smell up the crinkle coffee.
Out of your sleep, the Lord told me to tell you, wake up, wake up, wake up.
Right now, stop living in La La Land. Okay, let me slow down. What he's done, okay, is that he's dragged you on a journey where he's allowed to behave in a certain way. He's had an instance where he's gone, said he's lied to you, said he's gone on a production, went on to a family visit, stay with the girl and her family like he's dating her, and you think that more, and that's why you don't want to get married, sis. That's why you don't need to be in a relationship. Because if if we're not going to deal with this kind of issue, this kind of behavior now, this is going to be exasperated and it's going to grow. This is going to be what it's going to be. You don't deal with a snake in the beginning, you'll deal with a dragon later on. Yeah? You don't deal with a snake in the beginning, you'll deal with a dragon later on. Ask the Bible, Genesis to Revelation. There was a snake in the beginning, a serpent, and it ended up being a dragon by the end. Right? And so, you know, and truthfully enough, the girl who obviously he was saying that is a nobody, provided text as evidence, itinerary, everything. So this guy is doing the most for this girl, and I guess he hasn't admitted it. So now we're in a place where he hasn't even admitted that he done this wrong, I'm guessing. And now you're in a place where you're struggling to even think, should I believe anything he says anymore? Sis, you don't need to believe anything. You need to take time out and say, hey, appreciate you, but you haven't got yourself sorted, and I need to have peace, love, hope, and rest. Okay? Because we don't need to be in situations with guys who are not serious about you. When I say serious, I'm in the sense of the fact that he may be loyal to you as a friend, but not loyal to you as a lover. He may be loyal to you as a friend because of who you are and what you do, but he's not loyal to you as a lover. He's got other ideas, you know? So I'm not gonna say something too tough. I want to leave it there. You know what I mean? But I can't say anything else. I don't know. What's your thoughts, guys? Comment down below. Let us know your thoughts down below as well. We appreciate you guys. Stay locked and stay loaded. What's your thoughts? Do you think she should leave?